Welcome to the Own Your Life podcast, where our goal is to help bring hope, healing, and peace by sharing our experiences and inspiring you to own your life. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own Your Life podcast. Today is episode 81, and I have an important question for you. Is social media controlling your life? And before I get started, just want to acknowledge all of you that are having to deal with this crazy winter storm. I know if you are in the Carolinas, for sure, that you've got probably the most snow that you usually get in a year all at one time. I saw that for Greenville, South Carolina. I do believe that they got like 4.7 inches or something like that. And it's normally like their whole amount for the winter is like 3 inches, 3.5 inches, something like that. So they got more than they usually get for the entire winter season in a couple days. So I know that if you are in the Carolinas and probably elsewhere in maybe the Midwest that you got hit by this storm, I'm not sure as far as it extended. I didn't look too much because I don't like to be on the news that much, but I did see that, and I hope everybody is safe and that they're doing all right. I know that we were not really impacted down here in Florida. We got a cold front, which for Florida, that means like it's now in the 50s and 60s instead of the 70s. So not really that big of a cold front. It actually is going to drop to the mid to low 40s at night in the next couple days. So that's going to be very cold for a lot of people down here, considering that I've seen people wearing heavy parkas when it was 65 degrees and sunny yesterday. So that was quite entertaining. Being from the Midwest, we've dealt with a lot worse than that. So it's just kind of funny. But it is also interesting how fast you adapt to whatever climate you're in, because we've been here for a little less than a year, and I do get cold. I do get cold when it's in the 60s and 50s, which, yeah, if you're from the Midwest or up north, you're probably rolling your eyes like that's nothing. That's a heat wave. So anyways, just wanted to acknowledge all of you and make sure that you're being safe out there, and hopefully nothing bad happened, and maybe you got a snow day. So that's a good thing. And maybe you didn't have to go into work that day or today, which it's also Martin Luther King Day at the time I'm recording this. So I would guess a lot of you do not have to go to work or school today. But with that, I do want to talk about how social media is controlling our lives. And I would say, if you don't think it is, it probably is more than you think. Because if you are thinking that social media is not impacting you and that you got it all under control, I would argue to say you probably don't, and you might be in denial. So it is important to realize social media is controlling all of our lives. Maybe if you live in a hut in the middle of nowhere and you don't have internet access, then it probably isn't. But I would say for the majority of people, and if you're listening to this podcast, you probably have internet access, and that you are controlled by social media to some extent, if not way more than you think. And a cool thing that I've been doing for the past couple weeks is our church has done which we're still doing it, 21 days of prayer and fasting. I know a lot of churches do this, but ours is doing this right now. And I chose to delete my Facebook app from my phone. So I didn't delete Facebook, like I didn't suspend my account or anything, because I've had to do that before when I was in a sorority at Purdue. We had to like disable our account so people like couldn't look up stuff about us during the rush period when we were getting new members and stuff. So I did not do that. So I still have it up. I just deleted the app from my phone. So I am no longer looking at it mindlessly because I am one of those people, and I feel like there's two different kinds of people with this. When you look at your phone screen, if you have the little red numbers, I do believe they're red, maybe they're not, showing you like how many text messages you have, or you've got, something in Facebook to open, or whatever on Instagram, you've got a couple notifications, the little number, I don't like that being on my screen. I like to clear all of those out. That's just how I am. I like that. I don't like seeing the number. And same thing with emails. I don't like having a ton of emails. I like to clear my inbox. That's just what I do. So with the Facebook app just being there, I would open it anyways because the number's there and I need to see, I got notified for somebody's whatever. So I would want to clear that out. And with that, I'm on the app, and then now I'm scrolling at things that I didn't even really care to look at, but I'm already on the app, and that's just how it sucks you in. So I have deleted the app from my phone. and it has been pretty awesome. I've had a really nice 2 weeks, not looking at it all the time for really no reason. And I usually do say happy birthday to every friend that I have on there. Even if I haven't talked to that person in, I don't know, 10, 20 years, I still say happy birthday to everybody. So I'm sorry if you were not getting a happy birthday message from me, because the explanation is I am not on Facebook anymore. Physically, I'm just not checking it. If you put something mean on my wall, I'm not even going to know. Please don't do that, but I'm not going to know because I don't look at it. So, which is kind of ironic because we do have the Own Your Life page is on Facebook. So I am still posting to that. I do that once a week. I post for this episode, any episode that I will put it on there, but that is it. I get on there, I schedule the post, and then I am off. So it has been really freeing. It's been pretty great to not feel like I've got to check it all the time, because of really just clearing out the number. That's just my weird thing that I like to do. So that has made me check it more when I have that. And now that it's gone, I am not tempted to even check it. And it's funny because of muscle memory. I've caught myself just opening my phone and trying to like find the app and it's not there. And it's like my finger doesn't know what to do because I'm so used to pushing the same spot, to open it, and it's not there. So that's been very helpful. And it's really kind of weird how that is the way it is, and a little scary to realize like, wow, it's like muscle memory for me to just hurry up and open this and check it. Very mindless. And I know a lot of us are like that, if not everybody. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're on, TikTok, that it is very, very damaging to our health. And I want to go into that. So I did find a Forbes article where a lot of this is coming from. I do not take credit for it. It is from Forbes, but it does say 6 ways social media affects our health. And this was in 2017. So it's not even like this article was written like yesterday. So I would say it's probably even worse than this because this was 4 years old. So still very relevant. It does talk about the 6 ways though. And number 1 is the obvious. It is addictive. And like what I just said, muscle memory, how I would just automatically click into it and not even realize it. And then I would catch myself because I've also been working to catch myself from scrolling because I know that is not productive for anybody. That's not going to help anything. It's probably going to make me more upset. And I'm wasting time. So with it being addictive, yeah, so you just kind of automatically do it. And it's crazy because this article says that we've known for some time that people who are over dependent on digital devices report feelings of anxiety when they stopped using them. And now we can see the psychological effects are accompanied by actual physiological changes. So that's terrifying. And I didn't really feel, I wouldn't say for me that I felt anxiety when I just deleted the app and stopped looking at it. I felt relief. I would guess it would depend on how addicted you are to social media. But I also did not get rid of like Instagram or Twitter, whatever. I never go on Twitter, like rarely ever. So that's not a problem for me. Instagram, I do like to check every now and then. I just like pictures. So whatever, I'm guilty of that. But if I guess maybe if I deleted all of it, that maybe I would feel some sort of anxiety. But I would say from Facebook for sure, I do not feel that. I feel actually a lot more freedom, which is amazing. And I would highly suggest that if you are constantly on your phone, and you can check this by looking at the hours you spend on your phone. I know a lot of us probably don't like that report because it's very honest. It can't lie. That you can see how much you're actually using these apps. And I would say it's probably an issue for a lot of us who don't think it is. So check that, face the truth. Yes, it's probably going to suck for whatever the number is, but don't judge yourself. Don't get all mad like, oh, wow, I can't believe I'm spending 3 hours a day on Facebook or whatever it is. That there is a way to change it. So I would say for sure, delete the app from your phone. Maybe discontinue your account if it's that bad and you just can't handle it and you don't want your account up there. Then just, you can pause I don't remember what the exact term is, but you can take down your Facebook without deleting everything and you can reinstate it at any time. At least that's what it is. Today is the January 17th of 2022. That is how it works today. If you're listening to this message way in the future, maybe it won't be like that. But for right now, that is the way you can disable it without deleting everything, to where if you decided to reinstate it at some point, you're not going to lose all your pictures and all your stuff. So um that is also an option. You can do that if you want to just completely be off of it, and just your presence be off of it, so that people can't even look you up. Like, that's a choice too. But I would say to delete the app from the phone. I've thought Facebook has been pretty dangerous for a really long time, and I do feel like it causes way more harm than good. um which is ironic, because I do post stuff for Own Your Life on Facebook. But that's just kind of where people are. Unfortunately, it's a double-edged sword. That's where people are looking. So we are going to be putting our podcast and everything on Rumble. I'm going to be doing that soon, which I know that's also another social media platform, but just letting you guys know that. Um, I do think that, yeah, we have an addiction problem with this, and you can lessen that just by deleting the app on the phone. I honestly don't really think about it much anymore. I don't really think about Facebook very much. There's really one major reason I used it was to watch Chicks on the Right every morning, which I can just do on YouTube, which is also social media. But I don't spend time on YouTube. Like, I don't need to be scrolling through a bunch of different videos. I don't get wrapped up in a bunch of like crazy videos. So for me, that's not an issue, but I'm also self-aware to it. So if I did end up going down rabbit holes with it, I would probably stop myself, because I know how damaging it can be. And that comes to the second point here, is it triggers more sadness and less well-being. I totally agree with that, because we start looking at everybody's life, their highlight reel, and we think, wow, my life's not like that. I must be doing something wrong, or I must not be good enough, or I must not make enough money, or I don't have enough time. Whatever it is, fill in the blank, that you are actually making yourself more sad by looking at all this stuff for hours on end. And that's sad, just to know that something that we're doing that is in our control, and we are knowingly doing this, is pretty bad. So I would again suggest to remove the apps from the phone if it's something you are on of way too long per day. And number three, this all rolls together. Comparing our lives with others is mentally unhealthy. This is 100% true. I know we've talked about this multiple times, that comparison is the thief of joy, and it is. It's going to steal your joy, because you're going to you feel more inadequate with whatever it is you're comparing yourself as. Oh, she has nicer hair, or they have better clothes, or they make more money than me. Obviously, look at where they're traveling. Like, you don't know somebody's personal situation. You don't know if they're in debt 20 grand just to go on that trip. You have no idea. So thinking that these people, that whoever you're looking at has it all together, is definitely false. I would say everybody's got issues. So the fact that you're just seeing the best of this person is not fair, because you're comparing it to your issues and everything you know about yourself. And you're thinking that, oh, wow, this person's great. They've got it all together. They must have no problems. They seem so happy. And whatever story you want to tell yourself, that's really mentally damaging, because now you might have a really good situation. You might have a great life, but you are now thinking you're lacking something, because you're looking at somebody else's stuff, and you are comparing yourself to, oh, well, I'm not like them, so it must not be as good as maybe I thought it was before. And that's really, really sad and dangerous. And I would advise you to stop doing that. Stop comparing yourself. And it's also easy to say, but it's also easier just to delete the app from the phone and not do that. And not constantly be scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and looking at all these things that make you feel terrible about yourself. And number four, it can lead to jealousy and a vicious cycle. Obviously, for obvious reasons, you can be very upset that so and so has whatever car or whatever house or whatever, their kids are all dressed perfect, and they make these cute little lunches for them every day, and they also have a garden, and they're a fitness star, and like all this crap. Like, you think this person is so amazing, and you get so jealous of, well, why can't my life be like that? I wish I looked like that. I wish I had this. I wish I had that. And now we're in envy, which is one of the seven deadly sins that obviously is not good for anybody. So all of this is very detrimental. As you can see, I'm pointing out the obvious, but if you really think about how damaging social media is and how much it's controlling your life, like you're gonna realize it's probably the most important factor that is controlling your life, which is terrible. That we are looking at social media all the time. What do you do when you can't sleep? Are you looking at social media? What do you do first thing when you wake up? Are you listening to the Bible? Are you reading the Bible, or are you looking at social media? Because I would say it's probably one of the two. Rarely do people just wake up and they just don't do anything with their phone. That is what our lives look like now in 2022, and have been for the past, I would say, at least five years, if not 10 years. That's what people are doing, that they are controlled by this little device in our pocket that's got these apps that addict us and get us hooked, so that we keep looking at them and keep scrolling, and that I do believe our phones are listening to us. So even if you're having a conversation with somebody about something and you never looked it up on Google or Facebook or whatever, that now you start seeing advertisements for it, or you even get emails about it. And you're like, well, that's weird. I never looked that up online. I only talked about it. Yes, it's all listening, watching, and controlling us and getting you hooked. And that's why you're going to see on these social media sites items in the ads that are things that you like, because they're going to try to get you to keep looking and scrolling and then click over to that and buy that and go back for more. It's pretty damaging when you just pull back from it and look at it that way. And number 5 is we get caught in the delusion of thinking it will help. Oh, I just need to cheer myself up, so I'm going to watch some funny dog videos or whatever. And to some extent, that probably does work, but I feel like we get wrapped into other things that we think we think it's going to be great, and it ends up not being very good at all. So this point says that we have a forecasting error, that when we think getting a fix of this drug of social media, I'm doing quotes that you can't see, but it actually makes us feel worse. We think it's going to help, but it makes us feel worse, which comes down to an error in our ability to predict our own response. And so one study looked at how people feel after using Facebook and how they think they'll feel going in. Like other studies suggested, the participants in this one always felt worse after using it compared to people engaging in other activities. But a follow-up experiment showed that people generally believed they would feel better, not worse, which of course turns out not to be the case at all, and sounds like a lot like other patterns and types of addiction. So we think it's going to be better. We think it's going to brighten our day. And, oh, I just want to see, maybe a picture of my grandkids or whatever. And I am not at the age to have grandkids. I'm just speaking in general. So you think, oh, I just want to see so-and-so's little kid or their dog or whatever. And then we get wrapped into, oh, wow, they have a really nice car. Oh, wow, they have a really nice house. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look what they're doing. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing that. That's crazy. Oh, wow, I wish I was doing something like that. And then we get stuck into the patterns of comparison and feeling terrible and being sad. And then when you get off social media, you're probably like, man, oh, wow, 2 hours have passed. I wonder how that happened. Oh, because you were just scrolling mindlessly and making yourself more upset. And then number 6 is more friends on social media don't mean you're social. I love this point because I've known people that have lots and lots of friends on there. And I used to compare myself and thought, wow, they have more friends than I do. They must be really amazing. And why am I so, antisocial? Why can't I have more friends on Facebook? And the funny thing is, some of those people seem to actually be the loneliest people in real life. Yes, they might have, 3,000 friends on Facebook, but how many of those are actual relationships? Because you can't have 3,000 close relationships or even 3,000 friendships going at a time. Like, I'm sorry, that's just not going to happen. And I looked at that person's life and they're actually very lonely. They're a very lonely person. They kept skipping around to social groups all the time, just changing who they were hanging out with constantly, not having any deep relationships with anybody. And they seem pretty miserable and very much liking the attention of getting new friends. So it was just like a constant cycle of watching them get more and more friends, quote unquote, but nothing was actually meaningful. It was all just a facade. If you took away all of the fake relationships, they'd probably only have a few left on there. And I'm not trying to be mean about it, it's just honest. More friends does not mean you're this amazing life of the party, great person on social media. Social media is so deceiving. There's so many people that I'm friends with that I haven't talked to since like junior high or elementary school, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to delete them off. That's fine. Sometimes I've liked to just see, oh, what is this person up to? But whatever, I'm not worried about it. I know they are not like a genuine friend that if I was in a lot of trouble I could call and they would help me out. I know that is not the case. But a lot of us don't think that. And we think more followers, more friends, more whatever equals better life. And I'm a better person because of that. And that's not true at all. And I just think that a lot of us are trying to substitute things that we actually need and relationships that we actually need in life with social media. And it is controlling our lives because I would just guess that the amount of quality relationships in people's lives has gone way down since we have had access to these kinds of apps on our phone. And before that, even just on the computer, before it was available on the phone, that now it's more damaging because it's just 24/7 access whenever you want. You don't have to log in, you don't have to do dial up, none of that to get on the internet to see who's online and whatnot. And if you don't know what dial up is, then you might want to just Google it because that's what I had to deal with growing up. We had to wait minutes to get online. It wasn't instant. So things were a lot harder to get to, which meant you actually had time and you were able to do more things in real life and not just virtually on social media, which I thought that was pretty awesome. And I'm glad that all this stuff was not available when I was younger, that I actually did play outside and I got to do things growing up that I probably wouldn't have done if I was on social media all the time. And it is such a reason for so much depression that we're seeing. And it's pretty dangerous. And I would just advise you, if you are on your phone all the time and you know you are, that it's time to delete some of those apps or maybe put some locks on them so that you can't access them no matter what. Or I've even heard of people like deleting them and having a spouse or a friend change the password on their login so that they cannot possibly get in. Like they've been that addicted to it that they're like, just take control of it because I know I'm going to go back to it. And if that's you, then do it. Then I would totally suggest to do it. And I would suggest maybe you do need to get some help and see somebody about it because it's pretty deep at that point. But we are all being controlled by these little devices and social media and all of this in our lives. And in order to own your life, you will need to delete some of it. And I will encourage you that it's very freeing. Like I just got rid of Facebook, like one app. I just deleted it from my phone and I'm so happy it's not there. I might not put it back. I don't know. It was originally just for this 21 days of prayer and fasting. And I thought, okay, I just want to get off social media. Like I just want to get off Facebook because that's the one where I find myself scrolling more than anything else. So I took the biggest one for me. And I don't like to have that temptation at all. So I deleted it. So I might not even add it back, honestly, because I've really enjoyed these past 2 weeks of not constantly checking it. And I don't feel like I've missed out at all. I feel like that's probably another, let's put that reason 7. People have FOMO. They think they're missing out if they're not caught up on their feed or whatever it is. And I would suggest that, that's a lie. And you're not going to miss out. You'll be fine. If something is really that important, you'll find out through some other way. We are able to call people that phones are also able to be used for calling and texting people. Amazing. You can send messages. You don't just have to be stuck on social media. So that it is important to realize there's so much more to life than social media and that there is so much more out there. So I would suggest maybe delete one or if not all of the social media apps on your phone, depending on how much of an issue it is for you. And just try it out. Try it out for a week. Try it out for 2 weeks. See how you feel. Do you feel freer? Do you feel like your attention is better? Are you able to pay attention to things and not be so distracted. I would just challenge you to do that. So, with that, thank you so much for listening. We love you guys. Appreciate all your support. Please share this message. Please rate and review us. And until next time, own your life because your life is your responsibility. Thank you all for listening. If this added value to you, please click subscribe and rate and review us. You can also find us at Own Your Life Co. on Instagram and Facebook and ownyourlifeco.com. And as always, own your life because your life is your responsibility.